I don't understand how 2nd&Charles sells some of their things for as cheaply as they do, especially for the condition that a lot of the books are in. So, when I go to 2nd&Charles, I understand that people can just go in and they can, like, sell things that they already own. They have a lot of pre-owned games, and I'm sure they probably have a lot of pre-owned music and stuff like that, considering that they have a lot of vinyl records and things of that nature. But when it comes to the comic books, some of these prices are like actually a steal, and I don't understand why they would charge as little as they do. For example, there's a Showcase Presents Justice League of America like graphic novel. It has over 500 pages of comics, and it is a just thick collection of classic Justice League books. If I was to try to buy this book at the Deep, which is a local comic book store, I would be looking at paying like maybe $17 or so. The reason why being, there's actually a barcode on the back of the book that says that its US value is $17. But then if you look at the 2nd&Charles sticker that's on the back of the book, they sell it for $6.50. Now what's interesting is that 2nd&Charles put their $6.50 label originally on top of the original barcode, so that you wouldn't be able to see how much the book was actually worth. But why on earth would you want to hide from me that I'm actually saving $10 by buying it at 2nd&Charles? I think that's another thing that just doesn't make sense about their prices. 2nd&Charles will charge considerably lower for their prices, right? But then they'll hide it so that you don't know that it's a good deal. But people love good deals. Why wouldn't you want to show that, hey, this book is actually worth way more money than we're selling it for? Because I just feel like that promotes like people to buy it. And this isn't the only example of a 2nd&Charles book that seems to be priced lower than its actual worth. Here's a Sonic the Hedgehog graphic novel. This Sonic the Hedgehog graphic novel, from what I can tell, seems like it's like a rather recent thing. I'll even look inside the book to see when it came out. So I'm looking in, and it came out in 2014, so it is a few years old. It's about 3 years old, but it still is a solid graphic novel. It's in what looks like very new, pristine condition, you know what I mean? Like, if this was at the Deep, the comic book store I like to go to, I wouldn't, like, give it a second thought when it came to, like, whether or not it was a new book. It looks really fresh. And even if it is, like, an older series, considering this is from 2014, I don't think it makes sense for them to sell it so low. For example, they're selling this book for $6. And $6 is a really good deal for like graphic novels, especially when you turn it to the back, and it actually has a price tag of $13 US. So they're selling this for $6, but it's really worth $13. And it says on the sticker that the publisher price is $6, but we clearly can see the publisher price is $13. So in some cases you can get like essentially 50% off on like the book price, and in other cases you can get like a full $10 off like the normal book price. And it wasn't like, oh, they were doing a special comic book sale or anything like that. They just straight up are selling them at a cheaper price, and I don't know how they do that without taking a loss. Like, unless they got these books for a very heavily discounted price, I do not see how they sell them for as cheaply as they do. I think another thing that I guess gets me about it is that these books weren't there in bulk. There are some books at 2nd&Charles where you'll see the same book 8 times, meaning that they own like 8 copies of the same book, which makes you think that like they were able to buy them in bulk. And when you buy things in bulk, of course you can get them for cheaper, and then you can sell them for a profit. But this is the only copy of this book that they had. You know what I mean? Like, when you only have so few of like what you sell for so cheap, how do you sell it so cheaply? And 2nd&Charles is like a relatively new store. It's only been around for like a few months. So I'm curious how they're able to like get away with deals like this. That being said, I'd recommend that like you take advantage of like how low they price their goods. Maybe they just don't know what they have. Maybe they like do take a loss sometimes, but they hope that you buy more off of it. I just don't know their pricing strategy. But thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, logging out. Peace, and have a happy holiday.